Welcome back, disc golf fans, to the Back Nine coverage of Round 1 of the 2021 Discraft Great Lakes Open. This is the 39th annual DGLO. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here again by Nate Perkins.
39th annual.
39th. Tournament starting in 1983, shuffling around different courses up until we found the resting place for this event, this beautiful toboggan course. And now, after the changes made this year, I believe we have a course that will challenge the best players in the world for the next 5 to 10 years.
I agree. The consensus amongst the players, everyone's happy. Everyone is happy, and the changes to the holes are one thing, but the attention to detail out here, they adjusted a lot of the tee pads. They poured cement out here on a lot of the holes, and I was practicing with James, and he just had nothing but great things to say, that they have so much space, so much flat space behind the tee pad, giving players plenty of room.
And speaking of which, they needed that on hole number 10. This is a huge uphill hole, and forehand? I say this as a fellow lefty that just
$100.
Oh no, and I believe he just lost $100.
Drew's going hyzer.
There is a backdoor route here.
There is?
For Drew. Yeah.
Wow, I see it now.
It takes every
that's
bit of
550?
Yeah. Every bit of 500 feet of raw speed to even get it up there. And MJ, I have a feeling he's not doing that.
Not throwing the hyzer.
He's throwing some sort of hyzer.
Oh man, if he just started that off a little left, it could have worked out.
Yeah, this hole you have to just pump it. And here's a roller from Paul. We saw this last year. A lot of players are kind of hacking this hole with this shot.
Oh, stop. That was awesome if it checks up right there.
Drew and Uli had toured for quite some time together, so there's quite a bit of banter and context back behind all the conversation you're hearing amongst them.
It's definitely a brother situation, big brother, little brother.
Definitely seems like it.
That roller just leaked. Oh, he's just been a little off center.
This is from his hyzer.
Let's go!
He said the $100.
And I guarantee you an actual $100 bet was made. There's gambling amongst the two of them, or they're not playing.
As soon as he let it go. Oh, this is great. This is what we want to see.
What a fantastic birdie from Drew. It says 428. It's so uphill. It plays very close to 500 feet. That is a huge birdie with the hyzer. Hole number 11. They have pushed the tee pad back strategically 15 feet diagonal back to the left to open this turnover a little bit more for the righties, and I really like this change.
Just enough to improve the angle.
Yes, and like you said, attention to detail. Something like this means the world to the players. A big turnover. That's a buzz again from Drew. And I think he's pin high. He's going to have something. It's not going to be the best look, but he is up there. And this is actually a tougher lefty hyzer than you think.
Yeah, you would think on paper that it would be good for a big flick or a big lefty backhand, but it's so steep.
It's steep, and you have to get it way tighter than you think. I believe this is a scorch from MJ, our new control driver from Discraft, and he just put a bit too much turn on it. And this is one of Paul's favorite shots to throw. I believe this is a nuke.
Ooh, a little inside.
Paul has had a busy week, to say the least. Obviously a Discraft flagship event. Seems to be being pulled in in many directions the week, leading up to the event, not also including his commentary for Jomez, so maybe a little lack of focus this round.
He's doing a lot for the game.
Oh, yeah, and he's still 2 under par at this point. There's a birdie putt from Clemons. Huge uphill putt. This is a 90% roll away if you're hitting metal on this.
Gatekeeper rewind. That was in the heart. Chris is playing well, moving to 4 under par for the round through 11. And Chris says that might be the first time that he's ever gotten a birdie on this one, showing you just how difficult it is, even for the left to right shot.
It is steep. It is a hard shot to just throw a pure hyzer on. It takes so much speed. And you have to get it moving pretty far right as well. The disc has to be flipping a little bit.
This hole, formerly hole 10, this is one of the holes, the only hole that Macbeth missed during that perfect round.
I still remember the first R Pro dart I ever got. I took it to the course and immediately I knew that it was a disc that was gonna make my bag. It's just a disc that feels like it was made for my hands. It feels all I have to do is think about what I want it to do and it just does it. And that's why I usually carry at least 2 or 3 of them in all the tournaments I play.
And moving into hole number 12, 344 feet, big uphill to the left, almost the opposite of the previous hole. This is a tough righty push hyzer up the hill, and Clemons is going with a forehand.
There's almost no limit to what he'll try and throw a forehand at these days.
Oh, wow,
really?
Little sleeper branch just pushed a bit too far forward. This is what's tricky about this line. You have to get it moving left very quickly, but it has to flatten at the end of the flight.
And this is a good indication of how much power you need here. The hole's 344, and Drew's going driver.
As hard as he can.
And he was throwing buzz on 400-foot plus shots earlier. So it's 51 feet uphill, but it feels even steeper than that.
And MJ just cuts it a bit too inside. This, again, seems like a line that Paul really likes. That steep hyzer flip to flat at the last second.
Yeah, get
Too wide. The crowd laughing a bit.
Look at that crowd. That's great to see. At this point in the round, the rain has let up a bit, but the grass is still wet. We're getting a little break from the heat. It was only 75 degrees out, but it's Michigan, and it's really sticky still.
It was extremely sticky out there. It was tough to get a grip on your disc. It was pretty frustrating. Beautiful putt from Drew. Little hot putt from Drew.
They must not have had a bet on that one, though, Brian.
No bets. He wasn't as stoked as he was on the previous couple holes ago, but I'm supposing he is happy with a birdie on that one.
It's a good bird.
Great birdie.
It's such a power player hole. Oh, no.
And, yeah, low putt from MJ. That's going to be a bogey. A little long on that approach shot. Did not expect him to be as far as he was, but still. Kind of an unforced error.
All right, hole 13, my personal favorite out here at Toboggan. It's 526 feet, but it still is a par 3. Going down this hill, back down 50 feet of elevation, off and to the right. It sets up great for a huge forehand. Drew has a putter in his hands.
And that's got to keep coming. It does, but it doesn't quite have the distance to get down there. And this is a better looking line from Chris. Look at this line.
Just pure the whole way. Did it keep going?
I think it did. I think he's putting for birdie. This is an awesome birdie to get. Paul going long turnover.
It needs to flip.
And just clips some high branches.
Yeah, you can't hit this one too high. The gap is pretty low in the flight. That was a flippy disc.
Paul, did you see the Indians change their name to the Cleveland Guardians?
A little bit of sports news from Drew Gibson for you.
Did they really?
They did.
Wow.
And a sidearm out of the woods from MJ. That's going to put him to a circle's edge putt again. And here's Chris. Let's see how far down there he got. Circle 2.
So close. You can see just how difficult it is to access the actual circle on this one.
Yeah, with the lefty or the forehand, you're expecting to be short right on the drive, and that's totally fine. You rarely see someone go deep left on this hole.
There we go. Making the correction.
Yeah, he's one of the best raw spin putters we have in the game right now. Just completely in to out. Wrist is just curling and popping the disc.
Yeah, him and James are a couple of one of the few players that hits it still flying on Annie.
Yeah, yep. And Paul, unfortunately, is tapping in a bogey. He's going to move to 1 under par, moving into number 14.
In this game, preparation is everything. It gives you that edge to become something from nothing. Success is not by accident. Because you know, the course plays no favorites. You know what it takes to be the best. In this game, detail matters. Idiosyncrasy.
Hole number 14, another iconic hole at the Toboggan, 700 feet. They've pushed the tee back over the years. Bomb your tee shot as far as you can up this hill, and then throw this really tricky shot up the hill to this guarded basket. And if that gets turned, that's going to be...
Just kidding.
If you're at the base of the hill, it's not a bad shot.
Yeah, that was still 450.
This is the kind of stuff that shows that Chris and I are just opposite lefties. He is opting for a flick here on this wide open hole. And look at this shot.
He throws his forehand about the same distance as he throws his backhand.
Just rotator cuff of steel. MJ getting a decent run up.
Oh, just a tad bit nose up on that one.
And let's actually jump to MJ's form. I want to show you, just super intuitive. MJ has been playing in the woods of the Carolinas for decades. And he's got just quick form. But again, same concept as Uli. Back foot and the disc are locked together. He's balanced. His spine is not bending over. But the thing about MJ normally, without throwing these huge distance shots, he's very upper body oriented. He just likes to snap discs with his wrist after all the years that he's played. and just let the stability of the disc do the work. Oh my
No.
goodness.
I don't know if I've ever seen that big of a miss.
Whoa. He's got a good attitude about it, but it's...
Yeah, we kind of mentioned it before, but when it's this humid out and when the grass is wet and the tee pads are slightly wet, you can start to overthink your grip, and when you find yourself in that hole.
Yeah, you saw him do it again. You saw it kind of come out of his hand late again. Huh. He's pin high. 80 feet. Forehand up the hill. That's large.
Oh, yeah. Gets a little tricky over there on that left side with those vines.
Something stable from Drew, and this is the mistake most players make. They just don't trust the depth perception if the basket is that far back there, and that the uphill adds another 50, 60 feet to the distance.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to not see him go with that flippy buzz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to throw a little flippier disc up the hill because you're already throwing it nose up naturally.
He almost flicked it in.
This is Chris for a birdie. Flick, flick. That is otherworldly. That is such a hard birdie to get forehand. Sorry, at a bit of a loss for words here.
I'm right there with you, Brian. I wouldn't try it even.
But you know, as a lefty on tour, you kind of have to have some sort of serviceable distance sidearm to attack holes like the one we're about to see next. And folks, we are going to move into number 15. It is a combined hole. 14 and 15 of the previous year's courses are now combined to be a monster 900-foot par 4. Nate,
Hardest hole in the course now.
the hardest hole in the course. Let's see how these players attack it.
Yeah, you said it, 960 feet. That tee pad right there that we're flying over, that used to be a par 4 in itself. And so players are looking to get at least 100 feet in front of that tee pad if they want to try and attack this really difficult par 4 here. It was playing over a half stroke over par.
And look at this from Chris. This is popped. No.
That is so sad.
I want you to see this whip motion that he creates with his arm. He gets every bit of his body into this, but look at the lever he creates with his elbow, neutral position, and then elbow, boom. And you see his whole upper body comes over on the shot, looking like a pitcher throwing a sidearm. And that's what you have to do to throw shots that far with the sidearm. Balanced, controlled, and that was gonna be enormous had he not hit that tree.
Yeah, he squared the tree up in the center. Some players, some of the bigger distance players, are trying to go to the right of that tree and get the late skip. And people without the big distance are trying to just go inside of that tree and flip up a little bit.
That is not a bad shot from Drew. He might have something to get to the basket. I have a feeling MJ is not thinking about a 3 on this one. He will take it.
Needs a little more flip.
That left side is not great. You're going to have to get a flick way down there. Oh, and he's off to the left or right side of that fairway, and those bushes are not easy either.
Hold it. Oh, wow, and it did drop straight down. Even that, he's still going to have 360 straight to the pin.
Yeah, you see MJ out of contention for the 3. You see Clemons out of it. You see Uli out of it. Drew has a shot. Going distance driver. And even he is out of contention.
Drew's a comedian. He's just so loud. As soon as he threw it, he just started yelling like.
You know, it seems like the crowd that came out was looking for a show. That's why they followed this card. And Drew and Uli especially absolutely love playing in front of a crowd. It's what fires them up. And it's part of what's special about professional sports.
We should just mic Drew up so we can just hear everything. We wouldn't even have to do our jobs.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to commentate at that point.
Patent pending. Oh, and it's just isering out early, and there's nothing over there. It's so dense.
Only 3 birdies on this hole on the day. Congratulations to those who got it. I believe it was Gavin Rathbun, Corey Ellis. There was one other, Calvin Heimberg, I believe, got it as well. Just not easy, but there's all something in common with those 3 players. They can absolutely bomb a driver.
And the blackberries are ripe this time of year.
They are, and they are delicious. Oh, I was going to say just like this putt, but he has hit the top band and rolled outside of circle 1 again.
Just hate watching that.
And the thing is about these Chain Star Pros they're putting on, the band is only 2-3 inches wide, and to hit that square is just so unfortunate. It's just a few inches too high. Okay.
Oh, he's been playing so well. He's looking at a double bogey right now.
MJ is going to sit right by the basket. And Chris with another long putt. This is 28 feet uphill. Double bogey 6 for Chris Clemons. He's still at 3 under par. Still a solid number.
You know, there used to be a time in Drew's career where that specific distance right there, that kind of 18 to 25 was a problem for him, and it doesn't seem to be the case anymore.
Hole number 16, 396 feet. Very tricky shot shape to get to this basket. Little bit of hyzer flip to flat and push forward the whole way is what you need. And I knew that Drew was going to pull this buzz out. Yeah, you kind of see he's like really leaning his body into this inside out angle. And look at that.
That is so beautiful.
I could watch that shot shape all day.
The gap seems to be getting just a little smaller over the year. Those evergreens on that left side are getting a little thicker.
Oh, little stall Annie. Super high. Circle 2.
Yeah.
Interesting. And what is Clemons doing here with the backhand?
Going kind of a little bit of Annie low on that left side and trying to get a little flare.
He is. What a shot.
Wow.
I
You
just
gotta try that one now, Brian.
I can't. We always joke, you know, there's a few lefties on tour, Nathan Queen, Zach Melton, Reed Friscura, and we always joke like who has the most similar style as a lefty, and no one plays like Chris does. He has the most unique game planning and decision making of any lefty on tour.
Yeah, you know, a lot of the lefties, I picture a lefty hyzer flipping quite a bit, but Chris, no, he saw it coming. I didn't see it coming. MJ, it looked like you made the putt to me. Dang it.
A little bit high on the elevated basket. Definitely stinks, but he's gonna live to fight another day. He's got 2 more holes left.
Yeah, but Chris really likes the Annie, both in the forehand and the backhand. He
Yeah.
likes to start it out moving that direction. But what a shot right there.
Yeah.
That's his felon, right?
I believe so. That pink one he's been throwing all day. Number 17, 840 feet. Nate, they pushed this tee pad back.
They pushed it back. It was already hard if you can't throw 500-foot hyzers. And now it's even harder, and players have to make a decision off the tee if they want to throw a big Annie. I've seen most players go with the hyzer out over the road.
I actually love this change, forcing the players to be aggressive if they want to get a birdie on this hole. And Drew has smoked a hyzer flip over this road. Look at this shot. That is enormous.
Yeah, it's as far up as you're going to see. Was that an MVP disc?
I don't think so. I think that was a destroyer that he
Really?
was throwing.
It looked like it had a black rim.
And Chris going out over the OB. Lefties can't get as aggressive on this hole, but they can still attack the basket in 2. What I like is that they take away what was happening on the previous tee pad. Players just bombing as far as they can straight into the tall grass and playing into the backside of the hill. Now they have to really earn this birdie with distance and accuracy.
And Paul really connected with that one.
That's what they want you to throw off the tee now.
That Annie out and over the OB, that was huge. Nearly matching Drew's hyzer right there.
Oh.
Yeah, just a little
And-
too turned over.
Actually gets to a decent spot. He'll be able to at least get a 4. But MJ, you know, he had told me the week leading up to this event, he had said, you know, this course is just a little bit too long for what I'm used to now, and he's not expecting to shoot crazy numbers. He said even a few under par would be a decent number for him out here, which is funny because out east he is still whooping on people.
Yeah, he's still winning A tiers.
Yeah. Just showing how the Pro Tour courses are beginning to separate themselves.
That way's right. That's fine.
And Drew is putting for birdie. Uli after a huge drive. Yeah, you see how stable these discs are getting uphill. Not too bad from MJ. And this is an unfortunate spot. And he has to go backwards. Oh, that stinks. Probably the biggest bush in that rough.
So he's throwing 4 right here. Oh no. Putting from circle 2 for his bogey.
Oh no.
His second double in 3 holes. He was playing so well, too.
And to go... Nice birdie from Drew. To go birdie, double, birdie, double. It feels so deflating to play 4 holes, half of them perfect, and be 2 over par. Very unfortunate. He's still under. Uli takes the par and stays even. This back 9 is no joke.
Yeah, 17 and 18 are tough finishing holes. Where was 17 at as far as the difficulty?
It's the 3rd hardest hole in the course, and on the other side of the coin, 18 is one of the easier holes in the course this year.
Oh, really?
Super uphill, low ceiling, cuts to the right, OB all down the left side. This is a historic finishing hole. And Drew's looking at the turnover backhand. This is tight.
Oh, if that gets underneath it. Oh, that's all the way up there? Okay,
Yeah.
Circle's
Wow.
edge.
Not an easy turnover. It says 315, plays more about 370.
Yeah, it's like
And
60
Paul's
feet
going.
uphill.
Quick flip roller. I love it.
He's got so many tricks up his sleeve. That takes a lot of confidence to throw a roller because, as you said, you have OB all up that left side. Too much cut, and it's over quick.
MJ going big turnover as well.
Score!
Oh, and
Is that what that is?
And he was right. That was a scorch MJ threw, and it looked great out of his hand. Just caught those middle branches that pretty much defined the entire fairway. Once those come down, it's going to be a completely different hole. And as a lefty, this is a blessing of a hole, being able to just throw a hyzer up the hill. Because it is a nightmare for righties having to figure out what to do.
Yeah, this is a real good one.
He's been very vocal today, hasn't he?
Yeah, you can tell he's just underwhelmed by his performance. And again, as the showman he is, just trying to put on a show for the fans. Chris, just absolutely deflating finish. He's going to finish at 2 under.
Yeah.
Wow.
Drew is just burying these shallow circle 2-putts.
Yeah,
3
just
in a row.
Lunging him in, yeah. Turkey to finish the round. He finishes at 5 under par. Very respectable. Only 4 off the pace. He
Yeah.
is in the game still.
Yeah, the scoring spread after the first round is really interesting. Even a stroke can shoot you up or down 20 spots.
Yeah, there were a dozen people tied at 6 under par.
Yeah. And there you have it. What an absolute blast to watch. Drew Gibson cleaning up on the back 9. All of his birdies coming right here.
And look at that, Brian. Ulibarri shot 2 over on the back. MJ shoots 4 over on the back. Both of them did not have a birdie on the back 9 at all.
And we have James and Emerson coming in hot with a 9 under par. That is the mark to hit going into number 2. That was fantastic. Thank you again so much for watching. We will catch you for round 2. Make sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media for your notifications. Again, I'm Brian Earhart. He's Nate Perkins. We will catch you next time.